Yo, it's Love Dorsey. I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard, man.
Say one made me laugh, made me cry. I told him the truth, he lied. Too much pride is.
All right, so we got Love Dorsey off the porch with us today.
You know.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. The weather good up here. It ain't too cold. Like, I'm from Florida, so.
I think you brought some of that Florida weather up with you then.
Yeah.
That's what's up, yeah. What else are you working on here in Atlanta during this trip?
Man, the music, I just signed with AE. Shout out to Authentic Empire. That's the home team.
Okay.
I got the video blogs, vlogs, whatever you want to call them online, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. So that's the demand for the content is going up with that. I'm an IG model, so, I got a lot of stuff going on with new photos and stuff coming out and just, pushing the music.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, how'd that deal with AE come about?
Actually, Boom Man, like I think he tapped into my content on Instagram or either Facebook. Somewhere he caught on to one of the videos. That's how most people see me. They see me on the video, spin game, on just, real life stuff, and they lock in from there. So, he had a podcast idea, and then we just kind of went from there, and then, my music is up there. So, of course, all that stuff was just going to come together. But yeah, they how you like lock in with somebody, that it's good energy off top. Like it was like family off top. Like the conversations, everything lining up, we on the same page, and I'm a hustler. So start talking the right amount of money and getting money and 10X and what we got, it was a go from there.
Yeah, I dig that. Congrats, by the way, too.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right, so talk to us about life in St. Pete.
It's Florida, it's St. Pete. My city is a struggle city. Like, I'm from the same city as Rod Wave, and, you can catch, like, the content of his music to know, like, stuff be going on.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's the hood, but it's, the area I live in, it's that retirement area where you expect people to come there and the old people come to retire and chillax, but, man, it's some hoods, it's some stuff going on.
Oh,
It's some crime, it's some bodies being caught, it's some gang shit, it's, it's all kind of stuff going on, but it's a lot of money circulating around, too, so... I don't know if you ain't never been to St. Pete. If you ain't never been to St. Petersburg, Florida, I would encourage you to come through that area. Bucks just won the Super Bowl. It's up there. We lit.
Had the parade yesterday.
Stuff going on. But you definitely gotta, you gotta know where you going when you come down there. Cause like I say, it's some areas.
Oh yeah, especially on that south side.
Definitely.
So what was your childhood like growing up there?
I grew up in Jamestown, so for the people that's familiar with St. Pete, it's like, a projects or an apartment complex, low income households, and I grew up tough. Most people that know me online, they know me for my content and specifically speaking on how a lot of us was raised wrong, especially in the urban community. You was brought up in a way where your parents was surviving when they raised you. It wasn't a real, you wasn't taught real life skills like stress management, how to, save money, being economically savvy, understanding finances, understanding when you hit a certain age, when life hit, you still got to pay bills, even when you're going through relationships and heartbreak and, just all kind of stuff. So for me, my upbringing was tough because we were poor, as is most people coming from the hood or the projects, whether you're from St. Pete or not. But, somewhere along the way, it clicked for me that life is more about finding self, more about figuring out what your purpose is, understanding how to manage your emotions and move through this shit to where you ain't being used up or just surviving. So, I embrace it. I went through a lot of shit growing up, but it made me and gave me the clarity that I have today.
Yeah, absolutely. And you went to college, right?
Absolutely, yep. So a lot of people be on my videos and, cause I'm hood, man. I'm project out, if that even makes sense. But I curse, I talk slang, and I do it on purpose. So a lot of people get on the videos and they feel like, okay, she's speaking that real shit, but we don't know if she educated or not. They don't know, I studied psychology in college. I know something, but at the same time, I understand how to reach people that come from where I come from, because we are the ones that need the knowledge. Somebody that got a college degree, grew up, great household, haven't really had to go through anything as far as being messed up financially, mentally, trauma bonded, not knowing how to deal with their mental issues as far as mental health. Like somebody who was brought up where all of that is together, they really ain't looking for my content online. They ain't sitting on the videos. So, I give it to them hood every time to make sure it hit the right audience.
Yeah. How'd you get into, making these type of videos and kind of just giving out the game like that?
I'm going to tell you, man, for real, I started out just telling stories from my life and my upbringing on Facebook. I started out on Facebook, and it used to be like 3 or 4 people on there, like not very many people at all. But my delivery, like the way that I talk when I'm telling, like, you know, whatever stories I'm telling and whatever little lesson I give at the end, it just took off on its own. It was never something I was purposely trying to do. And then it just caught. And from there, like, people started wanting to reach out to me and talk to me about their life and get some advice. And then from there, it just turned into like, oh, y'all need to go watch her. Y'all need to go. And it just, you know, it just kind of, it took a life of its own. And now it really runs me. The videos and the content and the demand for, like, I'm gonna tell you some funny shit. You know, sometimes in my life I have so much going on. I'm like, okay, I need to disconnect from social media. So I got off of Facebook one time, and I wasn't really on Instagram. I deactivated my Facebook. These people started a petition to get Facebook to not allow me to deactivate my page because it's like, it's therapy. And I'm like taking away their ability to be able to like think clear based on the content. It's crazy.
Yeah. What does it mean for you to have so many people that kind of depend on you for that type of advice?
It honestly, that's a good question. It made me realize I have to be responsible. You know how like we'll cancel celebrities or hold them to a certain standard that they ain't even really asked for? I haven't even made it close to, you know, where I want to go, but I've realized there's a certain responsibility that comes along with having as much clout or as much support or as much following that I have, because people genuinely wake up and they look to me for advice on like real life shit, not like just music, not like just, oh, let me, you know, she look nice. Oh, that's one of those Instagram models. She pretty. Let me, you know, ask her for some like advice on vanity. No, like they come to me like, listen, I feel suicidal. I'm going through a breakup, or I don't know how to cope with this. Or listen, my mom got me with these generational curses where I'm treating my kids a certain kind of way based on how she treated me. Or, you know, I don't know how to manage my emotions right. I don't know how to, like, it just made me realize like these people really need this shit, and it's nobody else giving it to them the way that I'm giving it to them. It's nobody else that pick the topics that I pick. I get like a lot of backlash from females because in my videos I'm able to give it to them from the perspective that, you know, the niggas ain't the ones that's always wrong. Like, we very manipulative. We do a lot of shit in relationships and using kids as pawns and just, you know, just the power of the pussy and being able to just treat niggas a certain kind of way based on money and what the music and the media is telling us we should value. And like, we got to take some accountability and some responsibility. And now, you know, ooh, females be wanting to, they're like, ooh, they want to beat my ass about that. How dare she like take the nigga side? So yeah, I'm realizing more and more like it's like I say, it's a life of its own, but I understand the responsibility behind it. So
yeah. Does it ever get to be too overwhelming? Like, you're getting all these problems from so many different people.
Sometimes, I ain't gonna cap, I do what's called one-on-one consultation. So basically you can hit up Authentic Empire on the text line that's in my bio on Instagram. And, you know, my assistants and the people on my team at AE, they'll set you up with a consultation that you pay for, kind of like a therapy session or whatever. And man, when you're talking to some of these people, that shit, like, you already know when somebody venting to you is one thing, but like, I feel the transfer of energy when it be on people. Like, when it be like they really be going through shit and they pour their heart out to me about what they feeling, what they got going on, the type of relationships they in, the stuff they going through with family. You know, it just, it does weigh on me, and it gets to a point where I want to check out. And like I say, man, Instagram, Facebook, they won't let me. I deactivated, as a matter of fact, last night for, I think I wasn't even deactivated maybe 12 hours. They was hitting up my people's like, where's she at? What's going on? Why is the page down? Man, I watch that page every morning. Like, I need that. Like, you can't do this. At least open the page back up so I can look at the video. Like, it was just crazy. So, but yeah, it does get to me sometimes in a way where I have to recharge my energy like a battery. Like, I got to get off here. I got to stop talking to people. I got to, you know, manage my shit so that when I'm talking to people, I'm not passing out biased advice. It's not coming from an emotional place, because I really push people to be practical. I think a lot of us wasn't taught in our upbringing. You know how everybody want to be real. Everybody want to say they're a real nigga. I'm a real bitch. I keep it 100. The realest person in the room is the most practical. The one that can use their common sense through the emotion, through whatever's going on, and they can come out with a conclusion or a decision that's based on what's reality, what's actually going on, what's practical to moving forward and growth, not based on a feeling that's temporary.
Yeah.
And you know, it's crazy because like the conversation I've been giving lately online, I've been telling a lot of people, you know, when you in like kindergarten and they teach you like to use your imagination and shit, that fucked a lot of us up. Like when the kindergarten teacher taught you, like, close your eyes and imagine that you're on the moon and picture the stars. It's real deal. People fucking grown 35, 40, 50. Like they create hypothetical imagination scenarios in their head and then they will act off of that in reality. Like in relationships and everything, like you imagine your dude probably at the store hollering at some hoes and you like sit there and make yourself mad. And then when he come home, you got an attitude with him about some shit that didn't actually happen, but this shit is like, it's real to them. Like they call their homegirl. She like, yeah, that nigga probably was. Fuck him up when he get to the house. And it's like this whole thing. And I be on like the one-on-one calls with people. I'm like, she really don't realize she used her kindergarten imagination like to fucking ruin her fucking relationship. And it's just like, it's crazy though. It's crazy the amount of stuff as adults that we like don't realize we are misusing or we missed out on in our upbringing.
Yeah. And you wrote a book too, right?
Yes. So, and honestly, I got several books wrote, but pay attention. You can get it on my website, lovedorseytv.com, or you can go on Amazon, but it's a workbook. It's basically, the essence behind what I teach, which is personal accountability. So you get the book, highlight a marker, you really dig into it and apply it to your life. It's making you take accountability for the state of your life. I'm a firm believer in where you at today, how much money you got, how much money you don't got, how much you've accomplished, if you have multiple streams of income, if you've been through a bunch of poor ass relationships, everything that's going on with you it's a reflection of your choices. But a lot of times, we are led to believe that we're a victim of life, that it's just happened to us. Like, you know, regardless of what people's religion is, they like to believe the universe or the higher power, Allah, Yahweh, Buddha, is like testing them. And this stuff that's happening to them is coming from that. But really, it's the po-ass choices your ass made in the past that got you where you at now. How much money you fucked up, how many bags you ran up, how many people you crossed, how many kids you laid up and fucked and had. That's why you at where you at. So it's like if you just be accountable for that, you will be that much more responsible with your decisions and shit'll start going different. So that's really the basis behind the book.
Okay. And where's the book available? Where can people check this out?
Again, it's on Amazon. You can go on Amazon. You can go on, really it's in Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, Target. It took a life of its own. It's on, I never even put it on those places. I put it one place, Amazon, and I sell it hand to hand on my website. But I guess from it being in high demand, other platforms picked it up, you know, and they like it. I love it. Send me the royalty checks. I'm with it.
There you go. Now, do you have anyone you could turn to kind of vent and like get out your frustrations as well?
Man, for me, it's the music. I don't have like I got somebody special in my love life that I just like am able to like open up to. But outside of that, like, no, because it's nobody that give it like I give it. So it's like, it's people that try. Like I got family members that they, if you need me, talk to me. But if you ain't gonna give it to me like Love Dorsey style, it ain't gonna really do nothing for me. And people ask me all the time, they always like, what was that thing that happened to you in your life that made you like get like this? Like they think I was like raped in an alley somewhere or something like, and I ain't trying to make light of anybody that went through nothing like that, but they think I went through some sort of dramatic tragedy or trauma and it clicked and then I became Love Dorsey. But truth be told, I just watched enough of the lessons from the people fucking up around me and the stuff I made mistakes on in my life, and I realized like, we've been doing it wrong. So I challenged myself to think outside of the box, but not that cliche outside of the box. Like I sat down and challenged what my mom taught me. I sat down and challenged like what I saw my grandparents do. I sat down and really thought about like a lot of this shit, especially for black people, it come from the slave mentality. It come from us just doing shit just because we seen our mama do it and we didn't, we didn't know that she didn't have no idea what she was doing. It's crazy because I be telling people, and this really like, it bothers them. A lot of people will cry when I really break this down to them, but I explain like, if you got children, as adolescents, we get to a certain age and we realize like our parents really didn't have it figured out. Like they were just doing the best they can. And it's like, when you realize that, that's when you start listening to people in the world. You know how you see an 18, 19-year-old and they stop listening to mama said do this or your daddy said, and they start really just doing their own thing. And we look at it as defiance, but that's that moment when it click in their mind that, especially for urban people, my mama ain't got no bunch of generational wealth. She ain't got no bunch of money. If I needed a rack right now to do something, or if I wanted a car or to borrow $10,000, she ain't got it. So really, all the shit she was telling me was just her surviving day to day. I got to get out here in the world and figure this shit out. And then we realized like, We wasn't taught stress management. We never had no conversations about how emotions will fuck your life up if you make decisions based. This is stuff that we wasn't taught. We taught how to cook, clean, match up your clothes, make sure your drawers clean, don't leave out the house without brushing your teeth, shit like that. But nobody said like you could be going through a heartbreak in a relationship and be overwhelmed with emotion, but you still got to take your ass to work. And if you go to them people's job acting crazy, they will fire your ass. You won't be able to pay your bills. As your mama, I don't got no money to pay your bill. You will be homeless. You have to come back here. People will start judging you because you live at home. Like nobody's saying this shit. Nobody's saying like if you don't have credit, you're going to have to work your ass off to buy everything because people are going to look at you like if you ain't got the money, you ain't got nothing. This is just the real shit that's just not being taught. Everybody, I think we on a wave right now like entrepreneurship. And I think what people ain't telling us neither is like opening up a business and celebrating an LLC or a flyer you made saying your building is now open. That ain't shit. You're supposed to celebrate the numbers when you actually bringing in some revenue. We have grand openings and we celebrating the idea that we went and got some debt. We ain't, you know what I mean? Like, and nobody's saying like, hey, good job on becoming an entrepreneur, but until you make back what you just put in, you ain't accomplished shit. That's just a facade you created in your mind that you're now some sort of boss. You know, everybody online, I'm a boss, bitch. I got a hair salon. I'm a boss, bitch. I got my own music label. I own my own music. Ain't nobody buying that shit. So you ain't making you a boss of what? Nothing. But this is the stuff that's like not being told to us. So, for me, I'm locked in on that. I'm locked in on like the real shit that's not being said and spoken on. So I usually have to get myself game to answer your question. Like I have to get into music, vent to myself, reflect, talk to myself in the mirror, make sure I'm managing my emotions. I call it tallying up. That's where like every quarter, maybe every 3 months or 6 months, I'll sit down and be like, okay, bitch, what did you really accomplish? How far are you from where you were? Because, I can look like I'm very successful in comparison to somebody else's life, but to where I was last year, I ain't too much further. So it's like, bitch, you got more work to do. You ain't going hard enough. You know what I mean?
I feel that. So what had inspired you to start making music at first?
Honestly, my boyfriend, like I felt like, okay, so I was dating a street nigga, like that was my world. Like he taught me about hustling, taught me how to cook dope, taught me how to break down pounds, taught me just the metrics and how much shit costs and just the entrepreneurship mentality of the streets. I got it all from him. Like I remember when I first met him, I was walking to Gyros. It's a place in St. Pete. Everybody know what Gyros is, but you can get subs, wings and fries, all kind of shit. But I'm walking to Gyros and I'll never forget, he was on a bicycle with a kid Jordan shoebox on the back. It had like a little thing on the back that you can strap a box to. He had a box strapped to it and he had like his work in the box. And like, we just like clicked from there. And like, he's just a real hustler. And I watched him grind from riding a bike to, riding a foreign car, just grind up racks. And next thing I know, we taking trips to Cali, we copping work. I'm touching and playing with money that like, I was working at Walgreens in a pharmacy, going to school to be a pharmacist. And like, I'm working with everyday paychecks. But long story short, like, he really molded me into like the hustle mentality that I have today. And then he got killed in a trap, like a female that was copping work from them. She go by Bud. She went back she lived in Clearwater. I'm in St. Pete. She went back to Clearwater and told her boyfriend and his homeboys that, the place I go cop Bud from, the dude that be in there, I think he kind of liked me and, it's a lick for y'all. He be in there by himself. So they sent her to go to the door. And she went to knock on the door like she was gonna make a, purchase. And I think he saw behind her the other niggas. It was like 6 niggas that she brought with her. Some in the car, some creeping up behind. And he upped his fire and shot through the door and she ran. He ended up shooting a couple of the niggas, but they ended up shooting him through the door. He ended up dying. And like, it went downhill for me from there. I got in a space where I didn't want to live. Like, I really wasn't, fucking with life at all. It was a dark space. And I watched like, his homeboys like move forward. And this is why I feel for like, street niggas, just cause I watch like the people he cared about and loved the most and grind with every day and would die for. I watched them just like move on the next day like it was nothing. They took his body, dropped him off at the hospital and kept going because they was worried about going to jail. They didn't care about the life that was lost. So they left him and one of them called me and I'll never forget, I was in my salon that he helped me open and shit about to make me cry, but I got the phone call and his homeboy was like, Mario got shot, it's bad. He at the hospital and he hung up. Didn't tell me which hospital. And in St. Peter, it's like 3-4 hospitals. So my shop was right across from Edward White. I went to that hospital, he wasn't there. I went to St. Anthony's, he wasn't there. By the time I got to Bayfront, he was already dead. And then to make things even worse, like they were like only 2 people could view the body. So of course I let his mom and another close like relative, I didn't even get to see, and it just fucked me up. And I was in his car. I just rode around the city for hours, just like deciding in that moment whether I want to like live or die. And then it's funny because that's how I met DJ Wynn. Shout out to him. Him, Gutter Sound, the whole movement, the whole camp, like they was a studio, right? And I ended up linking with them a short time after that, and I started like rapping. It was like poetry for me, but it turned into like, you know, just hardcore rap because I knew the streets through him. So it was almost, I was rapping as him. And you know, they took me in as a family, just like under their wing. Like from there, it was like, back then they called me Lady Love. So it was Lady Love with Gutter Sound, and DJ Wynn was the DJ. And that was my, like, I told him when I first started rapping, like, man, if I ever make it, you gonna be my DJ. Like, you gotta be, cause I'm locked in with the people that was there for me. And I don't think they even know, like, that's the reason why I started rapping. Like, I just started going there and doing music. And, you know, I was raw from the start just because it was coming from a painful place. Like, it was coming from a space of, like, if I don't have some sort of outlet or add something new to replace what I lost, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Was the feedback positive right away when you first started releasing music?
It was, because I'm not the average female rapper. Like, I'm not selling pussy over a beat. Like, my content and my music is the same as my videos. And I feel like even for people that hear me for the first time and they don't necessarily know if this their genre of music, the lyrics are so real and it's applicable to the stuff that people really, they can't help but double back and fuck with the music. Like I said, even the situation I'm in with Authentic Empire, Boom Man didn't reach out to me based on my music. He reached out based on like the content and what he's seeing people gravitate towards me to for the video vlogs and the stuff that I'm talking about on real life. But like, my music is that too. So the same way they yearning and they screaming for my do a video, do a live, talk about this, it's the same thing they're doing for the music. So it's selling itself. So, you know, as long as the video's swinging, my music gonna swing too.
Yeah. Toxic, is that the new single you're pushing right now?
Yeah, so it's crazy because I did that one after like making a decision to get out of a relationship that I was going in circles, man. Like, you know, I was in my feelings about this dude, and like, I felt like he probably was in his feelings about me, but we was just toxic. You know, them relationships where y'all just, you know, this shit ain't going nowhere. You're arguing, fighting, fucking, you're going back and forth. And, you know, I just put it in a song like I just explained, and the song just kind of hit for people. There's so many people in relationships right now where it's like, you know, I'm just going around, sticking around, like I love you. I know it ain't going nowhere, but I can't really get out because of my feelings, and like, I ain't mature enough. It's just, you know, it's up there right now. Like, that's what people are asking for. And I'm getting ready to shoot the video soon so they can have a visual to match with the song. But yeah, that's what's going right now.
Okay. Was it therapeutic recording that song then?
Yeah, it was. It's crazy because when I finished the song, like, I felt liberated, and I'm finna send it to the nigga. Like, he finna know, like, yeah, and I sent it. So like, I sent the song, and I'm expecting him to be like, why the fuck you made that song about? Because I sent the text, and I'm like, this song is by us, and like me, like, this is my last straw. I ain't fucking with you no more. He hearted that bitch. So it threw me off, like, this is some toxic ass shit. This nigga, like, he like, I love that bitch, and then never said nothing else. I'm gonna be crazy. Let me get away from this shit. It was toxic.
Are you working on a new project right now, or kind of just focusing on the singles?
No, so yeah, I got a whole tape that's coming out, and it's really centered around that whole genre of toxic, like, relationships, the ups and downs. So it is a whole tape coming, and people asking for that. And then I got another project I'm working on with, shout out to Pasta, like, me and him gonna do a whole tape together on like really? Some Queen and Slim, Bonnie and Clyde type shit. He really matched my energy with the music and just in life. I haven't found in my lifetime since I was able to click and really get my purpose, I haven't found a dude yet that can match my mental on like the stuff I talk about. And like, and you know, it's hard because I'm big on, like, people that know me and been watching my videos, they know I'm big on, if you're in a relationship, a woman submitting to a man. I genuinely believe in allowing a man to lead and a female being a female. So for me, a lot of the relationships I've been in my life, like, I'm tougher than the nigga. Like, my mindset is more of a alpha than his. So I really needed somebody that, like, you know, iron sharpening iron. Like, it's a situation where I can be a female and not have to be Love Dorsey 24/7.
Yeah, I feel that. How do you balance everything?
I don't, man. It's crazy because shout out to Energy and Boom Man at AE, man. They kind of get on me all the time. Like I just left a meeting before we came here where they was just trying to get on me about my organization and just, cause it's a lot, man. It's the music. I'm still, you know, I got my own family. I got, you know, a relationship, but I got everything else and it's in high demand. And I realized last night when I deactivated my Instagram and my Facebook, I really can't check out from nothing. You know, you can't check out from being a part of your family. They won't let me check out from online. Like, I can't, like, and I got deadlines with my music and stuff that I'm obligated to. And then I got people in my life, man. The thing about coming from the hood and coming from a place like St. Pete, it's people that they've already made their mind up that you obligated to make it so they can come up. Like, they've banked on, she my route out. So it's like, if they see you slowing up, they put pressure down, like, nah, what you doing? Like, hey, we don't see you online. Like, what's up with the music? Like, when you come into the studio, like, what's going on with this? It's like, you can't let up. So to answer your question, I don't. It just kind of balances itself, I guess. Or maybe it ain't, but I don't fucking know it's running me.
What's next for you?
An official podcast. That's
okay.
I want to get that so I can get away from just doing the live videos. I call them car specials on my Instagram and Facebook. And I want to be able to touch all platforms, man. It's crazy how these scammers be exploiting like people. I'm getting just, you know, I'm reaching that small stardom phase, if you want to call it, where I'm realizing what like rich and famous people go through, where they take your name and use it to make money. Like it's this Facebook page, the bio say he's a Brazilian gamer, like a video gamer. But he got like 67,000 followers and the page is me. You know, it's all my pictures, it's all my lives. And he has some sort of, I don't know, some sort of tech where he can take a live I did on Instagram and make it like I'm live right now on Facebook. Really? And then they put a Cash App and like all my followers go in there and they send them money. Like my birthday, it was people hit me up like, hey, I sent you $500. One dude was like, I sent you $1,000, man, just because I learned. So you ain't send me $1,000. You sent the Brazilian gamer after he came up. Like, and then it's going on YouTube. People are like, they write me on Instagram. They're like, I've been watching you on YouTube for the longest. YouTube? I don't post nothing on YouTube. Like, it's going on. So I really want to, next for me is getting a podcast and being able to really own my content so it can't be confiscated and, you know, used in a way where they're exploiting or taking advantage of people they really want to support the brand.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Any shout outs before we wrap it up?
Man, I got to shout out DJ Win because I wouldn't even be here if he didn't like connect me. So man, networking is so important. Shout out to DJ Win, man. Much love to you. Shout out to Authentic Empire. You know, the whole team in here. Boom, man. He really the one that got me locked in up here in Atlanta. Like, shout out to Pasa. Shout out to Shawty T. Like my studio back home, Stylist Studios. I don't know if you're familiar with that studio in St. Pete, but man, that's my home. And he really, the closest thing I got to somebody I could actually go to and vent and talk to would be Shawty T at Stylist Studios. So when I'm on, he on, man, my family and you know, my best friend, shout out to Randall Strauss, like he been a real support system. That's that person that like, you ever had somebody in your life like, you could be on your lowest of your low, like $10 in your account and owe them 500 and they still gonna show up and support and let you pop your shit and not like that's my family, man. Like, for real. Just anybody that's been supporting my music and my brand, I fuck with y'all. Lisa Marie in New York, I fuck with you. Roy in Orlando, man, y'all been supporting my brand from the bottom. Just real ones know, they know. Like I don't even gotta officially give a tag or a plug or a shout out. They, you know me. If I'm rocking, you rolling, I make it, you there.
Say what made me laugh, made me cry.